Hello everyone, ARG back with some more Franchise Hockey Manager 8, and today in the world of alternate future, I guess? Well, is it really alternate if it's the future? I don't know, I'm not really good at time travel, but yeah, in alternate universe, I guess, we have the Ottawa Senators, and we are in 2022, where we are going to be playing the month of December, so the very last month of the year 2022. Alright, looks like my stream is a little unstable right now. I apologize for that. You're probably seeing a blurry face or something, which in some cases might be considered an improvement, but anyway. Let me check that. That doesn't look too bad, I guess. I don't know. Alright, so thanks to Stoner Matt, who told me that the sound was pretty good. Hey Kim, it's been a second. I am actually trying to win. I am not trying to tank, although I might end up tanking despite my best efforts. Who knows? But so far so good. I'm doing pretty good so far. I'm pretty happy with how my team is responding so far this season. So we are going to be playing December today. I don't have a whole lot of transactions planned. I usually don't like to trade that early in the season. I usually prefer to wait until at least after the new year so that I can have a good grasp on my team. So we're basically gonna just chug through the games unless something falls on my lap, of course. But I'm pretty happy with where I'm at right now. Alright, so we are still second in the East. We're tied in points with the Hurricanes, but we do have 4 more games played. We are the team that played the most games in the East, so there's that kind of caveat there. Sokolov is still out for 2 to 3 months. That's a shame. That was a little bit of his I don't want to say breakout season because he had 11 points, but still, that was his first full-time job in the NHL, and Shabbat should be back soon here. Alrighty, so let's get going. So how have you been, Kim? Alright. Oh, Durando has been put on waivers, and so have Nick Cousins. Not gonna pick them up. How many cups did you win? Oh, Leon Draisaitl has a day-to-day injury, so that's not too bad. Bruised forearm. The real life deceased Eugene Melnick is very happy with my work. We went 8-6 last month, so definitely a little bit of a dip compared to October, but that's still a winning month, so nothing to be. 3 cups in 9 years, that's pretty good. It is pretty good indeed. So you still continue to just get your young players and giving them the money they want and just went with that. That's pretty much the way to go with this game, I think. Thomas Chabot is almost recovered. That's good. We need him. And again, man, I wish they would stop doing that. So the Islanders signed Arnaud Durando, right? So they signed him and everything. And then they're trying to pass him right through waivers, right ahead. Yeah, pretty good pick. Yeah, I did get a little bit of outside help. I traded for Dougie Hamilton in the off season, but yeah, Alright, so we have a home game here. We're about to play against the Jets. Jets are 8-9-2 this season, so not doing too good in Winnipeg. Actually, in real life this season, they are fighting for a playoff spot as we speak. Alright, so let's take a look. Not too many injuries in Winnipeg. They have Jeff Mallott, that's day-to-day. Other than that, in net they have Hellebuck and Berdine. On D they have Josh Morrissey, Anola, Chisholm, Samberg, Pionk, Schmidt, Gawanki. Up front, they retain Andrew Cup, unlike real life. Kyle Connors, Joe Snively, Mallott, Smith, Scheifele, Laurie, Gustafsson, Larson, Dubois, Asemant, Blake Wheeler, Nikolai Ehlers, and Cole Perfetti. Not too impressed with their D there. Hopefully we can capitalize on that and score us some goals. Yeah, that's kind of my feeling too. So hopefully we can capitalize on that weak D there. Alright, so let's get going here. So Mikael Berdine is going to be in net for Winnipeg. We're going to have Matt Murray in net. And of course, go Sens go. Oh, not a good start to the month. We lost against an inferior team. We lost 4-1. We could not capitalize on Winnipeg's bad defense. Winnipeg outshot us 34-29. Mark Scheifele was the first star of the game. He had a goal and an assist. Kyle Connor was the second star with a goal and an assist. And Vili Ainola was the third star with 2 assists. We had a sellout crowd at Canadian Tire Center today, but yeah, we lost. Winnipeg scored twice in the first period. They were up 2-0. Then in the second period, they made it 3-0. Before we scored our lone goal, it was a Lawson Krause goal from Nino Niedreiter. 3-1 Winnipeg after 2. Then in the third period, Winnipeg scored again, made it 4-1. And yeah, that's not a great game. Not a whole lot to talk about here. So in this season, I had Tim Stützle as the leading scorer in the league, but then he got hurt and he missed like 5 games or something. So he's not the leading scorer anymore, but he was for a while. He was like for a month and a half. That was kind of cool. All right, so Cooper Marody has been put on waivers by the Oilers. Great night for Niklas Backstrom in Washington. He had a hat trick against the Arizona Coyotes. Excellent passing leads to productive night for Alex Ovechkin. In that same game, he had 5 assists. Wow, OV with the helpers there. Usually, he gets assists, but usually he's more of a shooter. Night to remember for Alex Iafallo. He had 4 assists against the Flames. Oh, Shabbat is completely recovered. That's good. And Yevgeny Kuznetsov has been put on the trading block by the Washington Capitals. So there's quite a few big names. Can take a look at that. Sure, I would like to get me, a William Nylander maybe, but I would have to shed some salary. I kind of like my team, so I'm not going to go for it. But there's a lot of pretty big names that are available there for a team that might be able to trade for those guys. Alright, so we have the day off, and then we're going to have a 1-game road trip in Dallas. The joys of randomized schedules. That doesn't make much sense for Ottawa to make a 1-game road trip to Dallas. Alright, so Matt Luff, Kiefer Bellows, Ryan Lindgren, and Calvin DeHaan have all been put on waivers. Yeah, I picked up a lot of waivers and signed a few free agents, so I know I'm the Sens, but I don't have that much room on the cap anymore. So if I want to get one of those guys, I definitely have to shed some salary. I'm not the real life Sens anymore. I've spent some of Eugene's money. Strong night for Marco Rossi in Minnesota. He had a hat trick against the Canucks. Great night for Kirill Kaprizov in the same game. He had 4 assists. And there was a trade between the Rangers and the Flyers. Patrick Nemeth went to Philadelphia for a 5th round draft pick. So another smallish trade. We're far from the Patrick Kane trade that went to Detroit last season. Alright, and now we're going to be in Dallas to play against the Stars. Stars are also having a really good start to this season. They are 16-6-2. We did play Dallas at home earlier this season and beat them 3-2. Let's see if we can beat them on the road now. That'd be great. Matt Murray is going to be in net for the Sens. Anton Khudobin is going to be in net for Dallas. And of course, go Sens, go! No, another loss, 3-2 in overtime. At least we're getting a point. Overtime / shootout. I wish it would say here so that I know already, but that's okay, I get. Oh man, we got robbed by Khudobin in that one. We outshot Dallas 43-23. Jason Robertson was the first star of the game. He had a goal and an assist. Lassie Thompson was the second star with a goal, and Khudobin with 41 saves and the W gets the 3rd star. Tim Stutzel opened up the scoring in the first from Mason Shaw and Connor Brown. It was 1-0 Sens, but then the Stars tied the game. It was tied at 1 after 1. Yeah, I know. I'm thinking about maybe not renewing DJ Smith whenever his contract expires and maybe take on as a coach as well. I dread it, but I don't like that Brady Tkachuk is set as a grinder when he should be a power forward. Right, in the second period, Lassie Thompson scored from Josh Norris and Nino Niederreiter. It was 2-1 Ottawa after 2. Looked pretty good, but we went into the third period, 20 seconds into the third period, Dallas tied the game. And then this went to overtime, nobody scored, and then that went into the shootout where only one person scored, and it was Miro Heiskanen, and Dallas with the shootout win. So we get a point out of it. It's not completely disastrous. Oh, that might be bad. Mason Shaw has been pretty good for me. He's over a point per game this season, but now he's hurt. Lawson Krause improves at right wing. And then we're going to get to see how long Mason Shaw is out for. If we're lucky, it's only a day-to-day injury. We've been pretty good with injuries so far this season. Mason Shaw is out for 1 to 2 weeks. I might have to recall somebody. He has a bruised neck. And then Zach Ostapchuk in minors got hurt for 1 to 2 months. Nick Jensen has been put on waivers by the Kraken. Montreal loses Rem Pitlick to injury. He's out for 6 months with massive eye trauma. Alright, see you next season. No one could stop Carter Verhaeghe. He had a hat-trick against Arizona. Strong game from Mark Stone. 3 goals and an assist against the Flyers. Good night for Jack Eichel in that same game. He had 4 assists, and Ryan Lindgren was claimed by the Kraken, which is probably why they're waiving Jensen to make room for him. Alright, so let's see. Yeah, Mason Shaw. I'll put him on the injured reserve, and I'm going to recall somebody. Right, who do we want now? I don't think I'm gonna get Novak. I think I'm going to go with Roby Järventie. I know he's a winger, but that's okay. Let's give Roby Järventie his first taste of NHL action and see what happens. He's a little bit, in real life, he's a little bit of an enigmatic prospect for the Sens. Like, he's showing some flashes with a pretty good shot and everything. It's still kind of up in the air if he's going to put it all together. Of course, I hope he will, but, you know, it's kind of up in the air. He has good potential in the game, so getting a cup of tea at the NHL level can maybe help him a little. Philipp Kurashev has been put on waivers by the Blackhawks. He's a pretty decent player, but yeah, I'm not gonna handicap myself with some more players that end up with a no trade clause because you claim them off waivers. Mark Kesselek improves at right wing. That's good. All right, and I just said that they put Kurashev on waivers. We're going to go ahead and advance one more day, and then we're going to be hosting the Buffalo Sabres, who are having a really good start to the season. The Buffalo Sabres finally putting things together after, 9 years, if you count last season that I simmed. Yeah, I think Buffalo has not been in the playoffs for 8 years in real life, something like that. Alright, so they are 15-7-2 so far. They are second in the East. Let's take a look here. We have not played them so far this season. They only have one injury. It's Zygmus Girgensons, so it's a day-to-day injury. He may play. They have Martin Jones and Lukonen in net. Bryson Schultz, Dahlin, Miller, Pysyk, Fitzgerald, Jokiharju, and Laaksonen on D. Jeff Skinner, Thomas Tatar, Robinson, Krebs, Paquette, Girgenson's cousin, Middlestad, Gambrell. Oh, Dylan Gambrell is in Buffalo now. Phil Kessel, that's true. Phil Kessel got traded to Buffalo. I forgot about that. Sexton, Alex Tuck, and Victor Olofsson. So, a little bit more balanced than the Jets were. Maybe a little bit weak on D as well. Yeah, just had to get rid of Eichel. Isn't that funny that, Eichel got traded to Vegas and now Vegas might not even make the playoffs this year? Maybe Eichel is just cursed. Maybe there's a bad karma about him or something. Alright, let's see if we can beat the Sabres. We are on home ice. Ukko-Pekka Lukonen is going to be in net for Buffalo. We're going to go back to Matt Murray. That is very true, Kim. I agree with that. Some people just have the bad vibes. Alright. Oh, 4-2 victory. So Buffalo had leapfrogged us in the standings. I believe we are leapfrogging them back with that win here. A nice 4-2 win on home ice. We outshot Buffalo 31-24 in that one. Brady Tkachuk, first star of the game, he had 2 assists. Peyton Krebs was the second star with an assist, and Josh Norris was the third star with a goal and an assist. 16,261 people in attendance for this game. All of the scoring happened in the third period in that game. It started with Nino Niederreiter from Shane Pinto and Artem Zub. Then Buffalo scored to tie the game. Then Tim Stützle scored his 15th from Adam Gaudette and Connor Brown. Then Josh Norris from Travis Sanheim and Brady Tkachuk made it 3-1. Buffalo came back to win in one from former Ottawa Senator Dylan Gambrell, but then Drake Batterson scored in an empty net from Brady Tkachuk and Josh Norris. That was a 4-2 win. All right, our first win of the month. Strong night for Vitaly Kravtsov in New York. He had a hat trick against the Habs. William Nylander extends his goal streak to 5 games. He had 2 goals and an assist against the Blackhawks. Daniel Sprong back from suspension with the Hawks. And prolific passing night for Nathan MacKinnon. He had a goal and 5 assists against Columbus. Nice little day at the office there for Nathan MacKinnon. Alright, so we have a day off and then we're going to be hosting the Blues. Ooh, the league punished Sidney Crosby and suspended him for something. That must have been terrible. He only got 1 game for it, though. So Crosby's gonna miss 1 game due to suspension. Alex Ovechkin lights the lamp. Oh, that was against the Washington Capitals, too. That's kind of funny. Alright, so Ovechkin had 3 goals and 2 assists against Pittsburgh. Eli Tolvanen with the Islanders got suspended. He's going to miss 4 games. Tanner Jeannot with Nashville is back from suspension. And Justin Richards with the Rangers signed a contract there. And he's not been put on waivers. That's good. Alright, so the Blues are in town. Yep, took off his skate, attacked someone with it, severed the limb, there was blood everywhere, and the NHL gave him a 1-game suspension and apologized the entire time for doing that. That sounds about right. Alright, let's play the Blues. Decent season for the Blues. Torrey Krug is day-to-day, he's going to miss that game. He's on the injured reserve. He's injured to a toe. Alright, so in net, it's Binnington and Hofer, Scandella, Wallman, Van de Sample, Perico, Aiden Fleury, and Mikola on D. James Neal, still in St. Louis, Perron, Sad, Neighbors, Barbashev, Zaka, O'Reilly, Shen, Hola, Tarasenko, Bushnevich, Logan Brown, former Ottawa pick, Jordan Cairo, and Robert Thomas up front. Not a overly strong team. Looks like it doesn't matter if I play historical or current day. The computer seems to really struggle with putting together decent defensive squads. Like, it looks like regardless of the team that I look at, unless it's like right at the start of current day and you're looking at a team like the Nashville Predators or something like that have some pretty decent defensemen. Looks like the computer has a hard time with putting together decent defensive squads. Alright, let's host the Blues. Joel Offer is going to be in net for St. Louis. Philip Gustafsson is going to be in net for the Sens. Gus the Bus. Of course, go Sens! Oh, we lost in overtime / shootout. Yeah, Bushnevich in real life is having a pretty decent season in St. Louis. That was a really good pickup for them. I'm not surprised that he did pretty good for you too. Alright, so we lost 3-2 to either shootout or overtime. I am not sure which one. We outshot St. Louis 35-29 in that one. Vladimir Tarasenko was the first star of the game. He had 2 goals and an assist. Lawson Krause was the second star with 2 assists, and Ryan O'Reilly was the third star with a goal and 2 assists, which tells me that it ended in overtime since St. Louis scored 3 goals. Power of deduction. Alright, so sellout crowd at the Canadian Tire Center against the Blues. Josh Norris opened up the scoring in the first from Lassie Thompson and Lawson Krause. It was 1-0 Ottawa at that point, but then St. Louis scored twice. It was 2-1 St. Louis after 1. Then in the second period, Tyson Joe scored from Lawson Krause. It was tied at 2 after 2. Of course, nobody scored in the third period. And then in overtime, Vladimir Tarasenko was the hero for the Blues with the game winner in overtime. I agree. I agree with you 100%. Drew Doughty has reached 600 points in his career. He had a goal and 2 assists against the Columbus Blue Jackets. Drew Doughty is 33 years old and he is still a 3.5-star player. I'm sorry if it looks like I'm twitching in my chair. The top of my foot really hitches, so I keep scratching it. Alex Newhook extends his goal streak to 5 games. He had a goal against the San Jose Sharks. Victor Lodin improves at right wing in Belleville. Mark Geslick as well. And the Islanders are looking to move Corey Schneider. He's been put on the training block and apparently we are rumored to go for it. I am going to tell you right now, those are not founded. Another moron leaked something false in the... It was probably a Twitter, a tweet or something. And then it caught fire. Somebody started to believe that I would go for Corey Schneider. Suspension over for Crosby. Back in the lineup. Alright, so we are in Chicago to play against the Blackhawks. Blackhawks are 11-15 this season, so it's a little tough in Chicago. We have not played them this season. Let's take a look. Alright, so Connor Murphy not gonna play. He is on the injured reserve. In net, they have Marc-Andre Fleury and Kevin Lankinen, Jake McKay, Baudin, McKee, Seth Jones, Hollowell, Mitchell, and Regula on D. Up front, they have Kara, Tanev, Kubalik, Smith, DeBrincat, Hagel, Strom, Borgstrom, Entwistle, Dak, Connolly, Johnson, Sprung, and Ardman. Alright, let's beat the Hawks now, shall we? Matt Murray back in net for the Suns. Kevin Lankinen in net for the Hawks. Go Suns! Go! Yes, a road victory, a 4-3 win in Chicago against the Blackhawks. Not a dominant performance, but I like it anyway. We outshot Chicago barely, 40-39. Josh Norris was the first star of the game. He had 2 goals. Brandon Tanev was the second star with a goal and an assist. And Connor Brown was the third star with 2 assists. Chicago opened up the scoring in the first, then Josh Norris scored from Drake Batterson. It was tied at 1 after 1. Then in the second period, Adam Gaudette scored his 5th from Travis Sanheim and Connor Brown. We were up 2-1. Then Chicago scored, tied the game. And then Tyson Joe scored again from Austin Watson and Nino Nightrider. It was 3-2 Ottawa after 2. Then in the third period, Josh Norris scored his 10th from Tim Stutzel and Connor Brown, made it 4-2. The Blackhawks came to within 1 with 3:37 left to go in the third period, but they couldn't get the tying goal, and that's a 1-goal game for the Suns in Chicago. Alright, Chris Kreider extends his goal streak to 5 games with 2 goals against the Washington Capitals. Right, we have a couple days off and then we're going to be in Philadelphia to play against the Flyers. Looks like that's going to be our last game of the season against them. No one could stop Austin Matthews. He had 3 goals and 2 assists against Winnipeg. Right, Austin Matthews, I believe he's still the leading scorer in the league. That 5-point game is definitely going to help him hold on to that spot. Oh yeah, he's still first. Alright, so in Philadelphia to play the Flyers. They are now 12, 13, and 2. That's good for 15th in the East out of 16 teams. We have split the season series against them so far, 1 win apiece. So hopefully I win the season series here. Matt Murray in net for the Sens. Felix Sandstrom in net for the Flyers. Go Sens! Ooh, that one's not pretty. Hey FJ, what's up? Yeah, we got crushed 7-3 in Philadelphia today. So not a good game. We were outshot 43-24. Ivan Provorov was the first star of the game. He had a goal and 2 assists. Rasmus Ristolainen was the second star with a goal and an assist. And Linus Sandin was the third star with 2 goals and an assist. So did you pick your team yet? Did you pick Pittsburgh after all? Or are you still just simming and trying to decide? Alright, so let's take a look at that 7-3 loss here. So Tim Stützle opened up the scoring in the first period from Shane Pinto and Connor Brown, but the Flyers tied the game 21 seconds later. So it was 1-1 after 1. Then in the second period, we allowed 3 unanswered goals. It was 4-1 Philadelphia after 2. Then in the third period, the Flyers added 2 more goals. It was 6-1. Then Eric Brandstrom scored his 5th of the season on the power play from Drake Batterson and Adam Gaudette. Then Thomas Chabot scored on the power play as well from Adam Gaudette and Eric Brandstrom. It was 6-3, but the Flyers added 1 more goal. It was 7-3. A little bit of a disaster of a game, to be honest. Well, it takes a human manager to save them. That's what I say. And I'm sure you're the only human manager around. It looks like Niederreiter got hurt. He's day-to-day, so that's not too bad. Chris Kreider extends his goal streak to 6 games with a goal and an assist against Boston. A strong game for Adam Fox in that same game. He had a goal and 4 assists. Bowen Byram has a great game for the Avalanche. He had a hat-trick against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Dallas Eakins might lose his job as a coach for Anaheim. Anaheim is struggling. They are 9-16-2. So they might not stay. He might not stay the coach there. And Mason Shaw starting to feel better. I kind of need him. All right, 1 more day off, and then we're going to be hosting the Pittsburgh Penguins. Right, Eli Tolvanen suspension ends. Back in the lineup with the Islanders. Simon Johansson got bought back by the Wild. Mason Shaw is almost completely recovered. All right, and then Pittsburgh is in town. Pittsburgh is 14-10-4. That's good for 7th in the East. Let's take a look, see if their lineup changed. Oh, they have some injuries. So Brock McGinn is hurt for the rest of the season. Tony DeAngelo is hurt, not gonna play, and Chris Letang hurt, not gonna play. Tristan Jarry and Casey DeSmith in net. Bartkowski, Dumoulin, Peterson. Yeah, that's another thing that really bothers me about this game is why did Crosby's captaincy got stripped for Brian Dumoulin? I don't get it. Anyway, so Bartkowski, Dumoulin, Peterson, Joseph, Lee, Marino, and Riley on D. Up front they have Pustinen, Ashton Rees, Pitellas, Zucker, Gunzel, Crosby, Malkin, Faxa, Zoarna, Carter, Rust, Kapanen, Angelo, and Poulain. Alright, let's beat the Pens, shall we? Back at home. That's right, that's right. Right, so Tristan Jarry is going to be in net for Pittsburgh, Matt Murray in net for the Sens, and of course, go Sens go. We're having a little bit of a rock and roll month so far, so forth, really up and down. Ooh, another bad loss, a 6-2 loss at home against Pittsburgh, so that's 13 goals we have allowed in the last 2 games. Oh, and we outshot Pittsburgh to 41-33. We just didn't get the goaltending in that one. Brian Rust was the first star of the game. He had 3 goals and an assist. Yevgeny Malkin was the second star with 2 assists. And Tristan Jarry was the third star with 39 saves. 16,125 people were pretty disappointed, I suppose. Alright, and we open up the scoring. Brady Tkachuk scored the first goal of the game from Josh Norris. It was 1-0 Sens. Then Pittsburgh scored twice. 2-1 Pittsburgh after 1. And in the second period, Pittsburgh scored, made it 3-1, and then Tim Stützle scored from Connor Brown and Cal Foote. It was 3-2 for Pittsburgh at that point. However, Brian Rust completed his hat trick. It was 4-2 Pittsburgh after 2. They added 2 more goals in the third period, and this game is history. Another bad loss here. I need Mason Shaw back to anchor my second line. Jordan Gross has been put on waivers by Anaheim. No one could stop Brian Rust, as we saw. He had 3 goals and an assist against us. Johnny Gaudreau has tallied 600 points in his career with an assist against Toronto. Johnny Aki is 29 years old and he's a 4-star player. And he's still in Calgary, because I know that there's rumors that he might not stay there forever. Morgan Rielly extends his assist streak to 8 games in that same game with an assist. Ooh, Bruce Cassidy might lose his job as a coach in Boston. The Bruins are 15-13-2. Mason Shaw is ready to come back. And Arizona has put Chris Weidman on the trading block. All right, let's take a look. Is Mason Shaw allowed to come back even? Yep. So Järventie didn't do anything in 3 games. That's okay. That gave him a little bit of a look at the NHL, see what he can do. Oh, we're dropping like crazy in the standings. We have a day off, and then we're going to be hosting the Detroit Red Wings. Alright, so Wade Allison in Philadelphia got suspended. He's going to miss 5 games. Nikita Kucherov has a strong game. He had a hat-trick against the Flyers in that same game. Looks like I lost Formenton to injury. Yeah, he's day-to-day. Can he play? Do I have to do something about that? No, he can play. That's alright. Plus I have spares. Alright, Detroit in town, Kim's team. They are 15-7-4 this season. Now, just because it's Kim's team, we're going to take a look at, even though I played them already, just so we can see who they have. So, Greichen, Nedeljkovic, Leddy Osterley, McIsaac, Nardella, Barton, Cedar, Roenick, Bertuzzi, Fabry, Vrana, Jones, Granlund, Rooney, Stevens, Pius Suter, Larkin, Veleno, Patrick Kane, Ernie, Raymond, and Zadina. So not a whole lot of turnaround, but yeah, Patrick Kane with the Red Wings. He's above a point per game. 28 points in 26 games so far. Alright, let's play the Red Wings. Alex Nedeljkovic in net for the Red Wings. Philip Gustafsson in net for us. Yeah, it happens. I forgot to note Cider if he's doing good. A 3-2 overtime win, or shootout win for the Sens against the Red Wings on home ice. We outshot Detroit 36-30. Tim Stützle was the first out of the game. He had a goal. Max Jones was the second star with 2 assists, and Brady Tkachuk was the third star with an assist. 15,480 people in attendance for this game. Austin Watson opened up the scoring in the first from Lassie Thompson and Shane Pinto. Then Detroit scored twice. It was 2-1 Detroit after 1. Yeah, you never know how guys are gonna pan out. That's the beauty of it. If it was always a sure thing, it would be boring. Josh Norris scored in the second period from Drake Batterson and Eric Brandstrom to tie the game at 2. Nobody scored in the third. And then in overtime, Tim Stützle was a hero from Brady Tkachuk and Thomas Chabot, and that was a 3-2 victory in overtime for the Sens. Morgan Riley's assist streak ended at 8 games. He was held scoreless against Arizona. One day off, and then we're going to be at Madison Square Garden to play against the Rangers. Oh, looks like we're on the road until the end of the month. Oh, Jake Gardiner has been put on waivers by the Hurricanes. Paul Maurice to be fired. So Paul Maurice is the coach in New Jersey now. The Devils are 10-17-4. That's not good enough. So they're looking at perhaps getting rid of their coach, because that's what NHL teams do. Well, that's what most pro sports teams do. Get rid of the coach when things go awry. Yeah, I think the worst team in my universe right now is the Kings. I think, or at least that's who it was at the end of the last video. Let's see. No, the Ducks are. Right now, the Ducks is the worst team. Alright, Rangers. Rangers are 18-8-2. That's pretty good. They are third in the East. They are actually right ahead of us. We are 1-0 against the Rangers. We did beat them 7-4 at home. We're playing them on the road now. Let's see if we can beat them. Matt Murray is going to be in net for the Sens. Igor Shesterkin is going to be in net for the Rangers. And of course, go Sens, go! Oh, nice road victory here. A 6-3 win at Madison Square Garden. Pretty good effort there for the Sens. 37-34 the shots in our favor. Dougie Hamilton was the first star of the game. He had a goal and an assist. Thomas Chabot was the second star with 2 assists. And Drake Batterson was the third star with 2 assists as well. Dougie Hamilton opened up the scoring in the first from Brady Tkachuk and Thomas Chabot. Then Shane Pinto scored from Nick Paul and Tyson Jones. It was 2-0 Sens at that point. Former Ottawa Senators Mika Zibanejad scored to make it a 2-1 game, and that was the score heading into the second period. And then Mason Shaw scored on the power play from Thomas Chabot and Drake Batterson. Then Eric Brandstrom on the power play as well from Tim Stützle and Drake Batterson. And then finally Travis Sanheim from Artem Zub and Josh Norris. 5-1 Sens after 2. In the third period, Mason Shaw scored again from Dougie Hamilton and Adam Gaudette. It was 6-1 Sens. The Rangers did score 2 goals. It was 6-3, but it was too little too late. A nice victory for the Sens. Jonathan Toews has played in his 1000th game. Toews is now in Carolina. He had an assist in that game. Jonathan Toews is 34 years old and he is a 2.5-star player. Suspension for Cal Capobianco with Arizona. He's going to miss 5 games. And Philippe Daoust converts to left wing for us in Belleville. We're going to go ahead and advance one more day. And we're going to be in New York to play against the Islanders. Mike Hoffman keeps fans on their feet all night. He had a hat-trick, 3 goals against the Black... Oh, dear God, a 11-8 game. We're back in 1989 here. Alright, so hat-trick for Hoffman against the Blackhawks. Alex DeBrincat in that same game extended his goal streak to 5 games with 2 goals and an assist. Jack Hughes lights the lamp in New Jersey. He had a hat-trick against Pittsburgh. Ooh, Sheldon Keefe might lose his job in Toronto. Lots of controversy there. They're gonna be talking about it on Hockey Night in Canada non-stop. They won't have time to talk about the Sens yet again. So Toronto is 16-14-1. A night to remember for Tyler Seguin in Dallas. He had 3 goals and an assist against Colorado. Tomas Tatar in Buffalo got suspended. He's going to miss 1 game. And Mark Kastelik improves at right wing for us in Belleville. Alright, Islanders are 13-15-4. That's good for 14th in the East. We have lost both games against them so far this season, so I would love to get a little bit of a revenge here against them. Matt Murray in net for the Suns, Ilya Sorokin in net for the Islanders, and of course, go Suns! Nope, we got swept in the season series against the Islanders, a 5-3 loss against the Islanders. They outshot us 36-30. Anthony Beauvillier was the first star of the game. He had 2 goals. Connor Brown was the second star with a goal and an assist, and I think that's Riley Smith. Did they get Riley Smith? Yeah, Riley Smith was the 3rd star with a goal and an assist. Right, Islanders scored first in the first period, then Connor Brown tied the game from Josh Norris and Artem Zub. It was tied at 1 after 1. Then in the second period, the Islanders scored twice, made it 3-1. Then Mason Shaw scored from Connor Brown and Dougie Hamilton. It was 3-2 Islanders at that point. Then they added 1 more goal, 4-2 after 2. Then in the third period, Thomas Chabot scored on the power play from Drake Batterson and Eric Brandstrom to bring us to within 1. But then Beauvillier scored to give the Islanders another 2-goal lead, and we just couldn't catch up, and we ended up losing 5-3. Brady Tkachuk is hurt. Now that might suck, depending for how long. Oh dear God, 2 to 3 months without the captain. Alright, a torn calf muscle. So, yeah, Brady Tkachuk is done for pretty much the rest of the season. Trevor Zegras in Anaheim is suspended. He's going to miss 5 games. Nino Niederreiter is feeling better, and so is Alex Formenton. Alright, let's go ahead and take care of that. I recall Parker Kelly. He did play some games for the Sens this year. All right. Well, we don't have too much time to feel sorry about ourselves. We are playing right the next day in Washington against the Caps. Washington is 18, 12, and 1. We have not played the Capitals so far this season, and Washington is 6th in the East. No injuries in Washington, so Samsonov and Vanecek in net, Orlov, Van Riemsdyk, Schalowski, Fehervari, Carlson, Schultz, Yorio on D. Up front they have Ovechkin, Manta, Shiri, Protas, Lafferty, Backstrom, Eller, Dowd, Kuznetsov, McMichael, Henrik Lapierre, Oshie, Wilson, and Garnet Hathaway. I guess we get to see Tim Stützle on the first line. Philip Gustafsson is going to be in net for the Sens. That's 2 games in 2 nights. Ilya Samsonov is going to be in net for Washington. Go Sens go! Without the captain. That's a 4-3 overtime loss. Or shootout. We were outshot 45-40. Yevgeny Kuznetsov was the first star of the game. He had 2 assists. Connor Brown was the second star with a goal and an assist. And Justin Schultz was the third star with 2 goals. Cal Foote opened up the scoring for the Sens from Drake Batterson and Tim Stützle. Then Washington tied the game. Then Mason Shaw scored from Connor Brown and Nick Paul. Then Washington tied the game again. It was tied at 2 after 1. And in the second period, Washington took the first lead of the game, but we tied it. Connor Brown from Nick Paul and Travis Sanheim. It was tied at 3 after 2. Nobody scored in the third. Nobody scored in overtime. And then Kuznetsov and Oshie both scored, while Stützle and Batterson both missed. We lost in the shootout. Alright, it's going to be Christmas. Can I get a full Brady Ketchup repair kit under the tree, please? That'd be great. I'd love that. Stars, I've put Joel Henley on waivers. Suspension over for Tatar. Back in the lineup in Buffalo. Elias Pettersson extends his assist streak to 8 games with 2 assists against the Flames. Nino Niederreiter is almost 100%. Alex Formenton is good to go. And Pittsburgh has put Chris Letang on the trading block. Right. So Bernard Docker got hurt. He's day-to-day. So Niederreiter still day-to-day. Bernard Docker day-to-day. Sokolov and Tkachuk are out for a while. Ostapchuk plays in the minors. Not in the minors, in the juniors. So I don't care as much. Alright, so it's December 24th. Merry holidays, everybody. Ho, 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 and everything. Alright, Nino Niederreiter gets completely recovered for Christmas. I guess that's good. Alright, of course, no games on the 25th. Alright, and our next game is actually on the 28th, so we have an extra long Christmas break here. Oh, I guess we're not the only ones with an extra long Christmas break. Nobody played yesterday. What's up with that? Alright, a lot of teams played yesterday. Alright, Tyrell Goldborn has been put on waivers by the Ducks. Strong night for Tyler Bertuzzi with the Red Wings. He had a hat trick against the Flyers. Oh, Andrew Brunette might lose his job as the coach for the Panthers. Panthers are 17, 16, and 2. So not doing all that great over there. Gabriel Landeskog has recorded 600 points in his career. He had a goal and 2 assists against Arizona. Landeskog is 30 and he is a 4-star player. Elias Peterson's assist streak ended at 8 games. Didn't get a point against the Jets. Right, and we are going to be in Buffalo to play against the Sabres. Sabres are 17, 10, and 5. They are now 8 in the East. We are 1-0 against the Sabres. We beat them earlier this month. Matt Murray in net for the Sens. Martin Jones in net for Buffalo. Go Sens! Ooh, a 5-4 loss on the road here in Buffalo. Alright, we were outshot 43-38. Rasmus Dahlin was the first star of the game. He had 2 goals and an assist. Tim Stützle was the second star with a goal and 2 assists. And Girgensons was the third star with 2 assists. There's just some names I struggle with sometimes. I blame it on the French tongue, of course. Of course. Alright, Thomas Chabot opened up the scoring in the first from Nino Niederreiter and Mason Shaw. Then Buffalo tied the game, and then Tim Stützle scored short-handed. That was unassisted. 2-1 Ottawa after 1. Then in the second period, Buffalo scored twice. They were up 3-2. Then they made it 4-2 into the third period. Then Artem Zub scored from Tim Stützle and Drake Batterson. It was 4-3. Buffalo made it 5-3, and then with 25 seconds left to go in the game, Drake Batterson scored his 10th from Thomas Chabot and Tim Stützle. We were back to within 1, but there was only 25 seconds left to go. We couldn't tie the game, and we lost by 1 goal, 5-4. Alright, Austin Watson is day-to-day now. Am I good here? Yeah. Alright, we're going to sim one day, and then we're going to be in Columbus to play against the Blue Jackets, and I believe that's going to be our last game of the month here. Last game of the 2022 calendar year, actually. It sure is. Alright, so suspension over for Wade Allison in Philadelphia, back in the lineup over there. Brendan Gallagher extends his goal streak to 5 games with a goal and 2 assists against Detroit. And Patrice Bergeron played in 1,250 games in his career, celebrated that with 2 assists, not too shabby. That was against the Rangers. Bergeron is 37 years old and he is still a 3.5-star player. And in Columbus to play against the Jackets, they are 18, 13, and 3. That's good for 10th in the East. We are 1-0 against the Blue Jackets, a crazy 8-7 win at home earlier this season. Matt Murray is going to be in net for the Sens. Elvis Merzlikins is going to be in net for the Blue Jackets. And of course, go Sens go. We want to win for the last game of the month, right? And we didn't get it. That's a 5-2 loss in Columbus. Bad. Not a great month. We didn't play all that well this month. We were outshot 42-24. I don't think I've had that happen. Out of the top of my head, I can't remember having that happen. Right, so we were outshot 42-24. Patrick Laine was the first star of the game. He had a goal and an assist. Jacob Voracek was the second star with 2 assists, and Jack Roslovich was the third star with a goal. Jackets scored twice in the first period. They were up 2-0. Then in the second period, we actually tied the game. Artem Zub scored from Adam Gaudette and Lawson Krause, and then Josh Norris from Tim Stützle and Artem Zub. We were tied at 2-2. There was a fight between Adam Boquist and Cal Foote. I don't pick Deg. Jonathan Likirimaki. Yeah, of memory, I don't remember having that happen. I mean, it might have, but I can't remember. Alright, and then Columbus scored 3 goals unassisted in the third period. They ran away with the game. It was tied, and then they scored 3 goals, and that was that. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and advance that. Nick Paul is hurt. Deg did not win the Calder, but Daniel Alfredson did. Oh, Nick Paul is out for 2 to 3 weeks. Alright, we're going to need to get some help. He has a sprained thumb. Buffalo's Tomasz Tatar is suspended. He's going to miss 6 games. That's the second time this month. Oh, Sheldon Keefe got canned by the Leafs. Oh my god, the sky is falling in Toronto. Panic mode. They got Todd McLellan as a coach. I'm not the biggest Todd McLellan fan in real life. Alright, so the scouting still has Connor Bedard as the top prospect. He's not exactly killing it so far. Well, he's 17. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's almost 2 points per game, but I was expecting a little bit better. Jeff Carter has been put on the trading block in Pittsburgh, and then we have the player poll results. So the best skater is Connor McDavid, hardest shot is Cale Makar, toughest is Ross Johnston, fastest is Connor McDavid, best role model Ryan Pollock, cleanest is Johnny Gaudreau, the most controversial is Sergei Bobrovsky, most overrated is Anthony Duclair, the most underrated is Adam Pelech. The smartest is Anze Kopitar. Toughest goalie to beat is Connor Hellebuck. And the coach you'd most like to play for is John Cooper in Tampa Bay. Oh, I need to take care of the Nick Paul situation. Alright, so let's see here. Let's get your RNT back up. Alright, we're going to advance one more day so that we are January 1st of 2023. Oh, the future is ahead of us. Quite literally, actually. Alright, Brendan Gallagher extends his goal streak to 6 games with a goal and an assist against the Flyers. John Carlson has achieved 600 points in his career with an assist against the Ducks. John Carlson is 32 years old and he is a 4-star player. The best-selling jerseys in Ottawa, Matt Murray, Thomas Chabot, Dougie Hamilton, Nino Niederreiter, and Philip Gustafsson. Alright, development report I like to look at. Okay. Top selling jerseys in the entire NHL. Austin Matthews is still first. The players of the month were Braden Oldby and Adam Fox. Oh, all right. So, and in the AHL, the players of the month were Carter Savoie and Mads Solgaard, yours truly from the Ottawa Senators system. Ooh, he has a 5-star potential. I sure hope he reaches that. I could use an upgrade over Matt Murray any day, any time now. Let's save that, just to make sure nothing weird happens while I'm looking at the standings and the stats. So we've dropped. We didn't have the best month. We're still in the playoff spot. We are 7th in the East, but then again, you know, we have played more games than everybody else. So we're gonna need to take turns around. That means I might need to make a move. I don't know yet. I'm gonna need to sit on it. I'm gonna need to think about that. Definitely could use a little bit of an upgrade at right wing, maybe. Maybe at left wing too, now that Brady Tkachuk got hurt. We'll see. Alright, let's take a look. Alright. Oh, the Blackhawks are now the worst team in the league. And the best team in the league is the Stanley Cup champions, the Carolina Hurricanes. So they are still really good. Alright, let's take a look at our stats. Of course, we're not going to see Brady Tkachuk's stats. He's hurt. It's our best players are Stützle and Batterson. They both have 43 points. Then it drops to Mason Shaw with 30 points. Josh Norris, 30 points. Shabbat, 23. Connor Brown, 21. And then it just goes down from there. So we have 2 guys that are over a point per game. That's good. That's decent. Hopefully they can keep the pace. We need them. But yeah, I'm a little bit too front-loaded for my own taste. And now in the entire league, who is the best goal scorer? Alex Ovechkin, 27 goals. Drake Batterson is the best passer in the league, 33 assists. And the best scorer is Ovechkin with 52 points. And then Stützle and Batterson are 9th and 10. So that's not too bad. Kind of like that. Our goalies are not going to be there. They are just not going to be there. Nope. And nope. And nope. The 3 stats that I look at were nowhere to be found. So, yeah. Alright, so I'm going to save again, I guess. I'm also going to go ahead and stop here for today. So, as usual, I do want to thank you for tuning in, especially Kim and FJ for being here and talking to me, keeping me company. And as usual, I want to thank you for that. And if you're catching this on YouTube later and that you like the video, please feel free to like, subscribe, share, comment, all of that good stuff. And until I roll this game again, I'll see you folks next time. And thank you, Kim, you as well.